everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm coming at you guys today with finally a tutorial. It's a one brand tutorial and it's going to be all about Afterglow Cosmetics. So I've been promising this for a while because not only is it my one brand tutorial with Afterglow Cosmetics, but it's also the 90s Supermodel look I was rocking on Instagram and in 2 of my previous videos, and I don't think I have ever gotten so many requests for a video. So let's do this thing. Right, so for foundation, they did send me foundation, but this is not my shade. This is the Organic Infused Powder Foundation, but the shade is definitely just too yellow for me. I can tell just by looking at it, and it also has some shimmer in it from what I could see. So I was just not into it. I noticed that the Root Cosmetics foundation has that as well, but when you apply it wet, you can't notice it. So I mean, I'll try this, but I'm not gonna try it on camera because I am going to work after this. I just am not that into it. But they also sent me a little brush to accompany that. It's so cute. It's in this little pouch. And boom. It looks like this. Super duper soft. I actually love their brushes. They actually sent me 3, so let's just start there really quick. They sent me the little kabuki, which is just great. I think it's a little too loosely packed for a powder foundation that you want a lot of coverage out of, but I think it's really, really nice. I'm really into it. This brush I featured in the favorites because I love it so much. You could use this for blush or you could use it for bronzer. It reminds me of just a bigger, fluffier version of the Bobbi Brown blush brush, which I used to love. So I love this for bronzer. I've already mentioned this. And then they also sent me a flat shadow brush, and I love this for when I foil eyeshadows. So I don't really like it normally for most eyeshadow application, but for over the lid, I love it. So I'm gonna be using these today as well. And also, before I get started, I wanted to disclaim that yes, they sent me this product. I requested that they did, and all of the opinions are going to be my own. As I just said, I'm not crazy about the foundation. So I am going to quickly bronze skin because I do not have a bronzer, and then we're going to do concealer and the rest of the face. All right, so I just put a light dusting of bronzer on. Now I have 2 different concealers. I have their Perfecting Under Eye Concealer in Shortcake, and then this is their, it doesn't say on here, but I believe it's their Aloe Organic Infused Concealer. So I'm gonna use this one under the eye so you can see, and I'm gonna use this one on the face. This one reminds me a lot of the new Evolution one. It's just a very creamy consistency. I'm just gonna go with my finger. Blends really beautifully, and I think has just decent coverage. I don't think it's like the most insane coverage in the world, but I did apply an under eye brightener, so I don't need it. I do really like the way that this blends out though. Super easy, and I know some people prefer cream concealers to liquid ones, so it's just whatever your preference is. I do think this is very nice though. So just under the eyes, I just want to brighten a little bit. It blends out so effortlessly. Okay, this one doesn't have a scent. I just want to make sure I mention the products that have scent to you guys. And then I'm going to go in with that liquid one. I'm just going to go around the nose. I really like this one. This one definitely doesn't have a ton of coverage, but I like it for when I already have a foundation on because I have the Sappho on today. So I don't need a ton of foundation. Just a little extra coverage on some dark spots where I get red and the chin. I am in the shade number 2, and it's a perfect match for me. And in the cream one, I am in Shortcake. So this dries pretty quickly, which I like too. You could definitely tell that it's set. It's not super runny. And it just gives me a little bit of coverage where I need it. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna throw that one in my purse though because it's amazing for touch-ups. That's one of the ones where you're just like boop, boop, boop. Because it doesn't get cakey as you pile it on. It just melts in with everything else. Lovely. So for blush, they went ahead and sent me 2 shades. I have Tickle and I have Majestic. Majestic is the one that I get the most use out of because it's that more brown tone, but today I'm going to use Tickle, but I am just going to quickly swatch these for you. So they're all pressed, which is just absolutely beautiful. And I do think that these blushes are quite powdery. They actually remind me a lot of the new Evolution ones in consistency as well, but the pigmentation is great and they don't get patchy. It's just organic stuff, natural stuff that is pressed. It just tends to be a little bit powdery. So up top we have Tickle, and then down there we have Majestic. Beautiful. But like I said, since I'm going for that 90s Supermodel look, everything is very warm. So I'm just going to go ahead in with my Luxie Beauty brush. Just dab a little bit of that. and apply it on the cheeks. These are really beautifully buildable as well, so if you're like me, I don't love wearing a ton of blush. It all depends on the look. But these both are matte shades, by the way. None of them have shimmer in them, so that is amazing and very much goes along with the 90s theme I'm going for today. Okay, so I have quite a few eyeshadows to play with. They sent me 5. I am in love with the eyeshadows. What I really love is that you can buy them in these pans if you like to travel. Their packaging has a magnetic closure. I love it. Very, very sturdy, very nice quality. Has the name written there at the bottom so it's easy to see. But the pans inside you can remove, or instead of buying it with the packaging, you can buy them in these refill pans as well. Pop them in a Z palette. You guys know that's normally my preference, just so I could see everything because I have so much makeup to play with. But I'm quickly gonna swatch all the shades for you and then we will get started on doing my eye makeup. So for some quick swatches, most of the shades I have are matte. We have Feather up top, which is a shimmer. We have Mosaic, which is a matte. We have Still Life, which is a dark brown matte. We have Lacquer, which is a black with silver shimmer. And then we have Stencil, which is just a sort of brownish gray taupe, but it is quite deep in tone. So what I wanted to mention about these shadows is that I don't think all of them are created equal. I think they all have beautiful pigmentation, but Stencil for some reason is much softer, much more buttery. The other ones that I mentioned to you guys, they are a little bit rough. And the shimmers definitely kick up more powder than the mattes, but the pigmentation all is beautiful, and once they're on the eyes, they perform amazing. I just wanted to let you guys know that. So these are infused with organic acai berry and goji berries, which is really, really cool. So they're just really nice pressed eyeshadows, and like I'm always stoked on a pressed eyeshadow because they are hard to find. So I'm just first going to go in with Feather. Feather definitely has the most kick up in the pan, and I'm just gonna dab my brush and tap off the excess so I don't get fallout. And Feather's just gonna go right the way across the lid. So it applies super evenly, which I love. There's gonna be a very subtle wash because this look is quite smoky. It just looks nice to have some vibrancy towards the front of the lid, and we're gonna keep the smoke on the outer part. Okay, so this look is very gradient, very light on the lid. I'm trying to keep it a little bit more cool tone than I normally would, but I did put a little bit of Kjaer Weis Charms in the crease just to give it a little bit of warmth because that's just how I prefer my makeup, and it will also help those shadows blend. So I'm going to first start off with this deep brown shade. Oh no, actually I'm gonna go in with Stencil, and Stencil is that sort of taupey gray. And I'm gonna take that on a pretty fluffy brush. I'm just gonna take the Luxie 205, and we're really just gonna kind of concentrate this in a very feline shape. So I'm starting from kind of the bottom of that lash line, bringing it up, and then we're slowly going to disperse the color into the crease. You can see how amazingly pigmented that is. And these will also blend like a dream. Like I said, Stencil is definitely my favorite in the bunch because of how smooth it is. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of that. We're just basically gonna go from lightest to darkest, and it's very important to just work in just a gradual way. That way it just all blends nicely and doesn't look, we don't have any harsh edges. But I am gonna have a harsh edge right up to my brow bone until I go back in at the end with that brow bone shade, and I will buff that out, so don't worry. All right, so once that's buffed out to about this, we're just getting a little bit of depth in there. I am gonna take a smaller brush. This is the Luxie 231, and I'm going in with Still Life, which is a matte dark brown, quite chocolate in tone. And I'm just gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna make it a tiny bit more concentrated. We're not gonna bring it quite as high. And I'm not really trying to make a cut crease, so I'm really focusing the depth on the outer edge and feathering the leftovers just right into the crease there, as you guys can see. And then I will go back with the other, with, what is this one called again? With Stencil and the other brush just to blend it out. It's a lot of back and forth. That is the smoky eye rule of thumb. This isn't a super smoky eye because we are keeping those inner corners quite light. But yeah, just like this. Just making sure to bring it up, up, up. everything is very done. Everything is very made up. Everything is very glamorous. That's what I love. And the skin is also very matte. So you're gonna see I just went in with my foundation. I'm not adding any highlight. The concealer isn't reflecting at all. It's perfect. If you need to just set your T-zone. All right, quick segue into sorry if things look different, because I saw my camera was flashing like 0 minutes, and that means it's about to not have any more room on my memory card. So let's get back to it. I'm going in with lacquer, which is that black that has a little bit of sparkle, and I'm going in with the Bdellium Tool 781. And this is just, you need the littlest bit because it's very pigmented and it is black. And we are just going to basically just make a baby triangle right in that outer V. And then we're gonna blend it out. I'm not gonna blend it out with black because then you will have mud on your face. But this is really just gonna give it that extra depth, make it extra cool, just like so. And then we're gonna go in with that blending brush and we're just gonna buff that in. You could take a little bit more of stencil or your transition shade if you used one to help buff this in. Right, so I'm quickly going to do the lower lash line. I'm going to go back in with that Luxie 231 and I'm going to go in with stencil, that first shade that we used, and I'm just going to run this right the way under the lashes. I like having a little something there. I'm not bringing it down too low, just a little smoke. And I'm gonna leave it at that, I think. I think that's enough. And for the depth in the crease, I'm going to add more once I do a liner. So I am going to pop off camera, do a little winged liner. I use the combination of the Physicians Formula and the Zuzu Luxe. And then I will come back and we can complete the face together. I will wait to do mascara with you guys because I have that. And then it's on to lips. All right, so liner's on. Is it perfect? Of course not. But I also don't bring it into the very inner corners. I just keep it out there. It'll really help add to the feline shape if you just start kind of halfway. Just make sure you fade that line correctly. So now that I have this on, I can tell that I want a little bit more depth in the crease. So I am going in with the Bdellium Tool 781 and lacquer. And I am just so lightly adding it right there. I'm of course going to blend it out, but I'm just adding it in really quick. That just makes the look for me, just how deep it is. Because to me it's just like a quite wearable smoky eye because the whole eye is not black. God, those eyeshadows blend so seamlessly, but you can see how that amazing depth we have right there now. And I'm just gonna quickly go back in with the brow bone shade and make this seamless once more. Right, so mascara. This is called the Organic Infused Pure Soul Mascara. Looks a little something like this. Really nothing crazy, but let me get up pretty close so you guys can watch this happen. Right, so I'm only gonna do one eye, of course, so you guys can see. You know I have pretty good eyelashes. This smells very strong. But I did inquire about certain products if they're smelling strong, and she did let me know that it is nothing artificial. It is all with edible, food grade, essential oils. So just something to be mindful of. But they're also infused with botanicals. So she said if it's a florally smell, that's why. But I'm just going to be real with you guys right now and let you know I am not huge into this mascara at all. I think it's very subtle. I mean, it does something. I like how black it is, but I knew when I saw the brush that I wasn't gonna love it. So let me just build up some so you guys can see how it builds, and then I'll compare it to my other eye. Right, so you can see this is a couple coats build up. Is it the worst mascara ever? Definitely not. It's just not giving me the drama I want, especially with a look like this. I do really like though that despite quite a few layers that I put on, it never clumps. So I don't like it for the top lashes. What I do like it for though is getting those bottom lashes, which is why I like this small wand. So you'll see it just makes them look defined, very black, which I love, and not too spidery long, because I don't like when the lower lashes are too spidery long. I just messed up. I'm not trying to look like Tammy Faye Baker. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of this onto this eye, and then I'm going to layer it with the 100% pure. All right, so on to lips. like everything else, they so kindly sent me quite a few products of theirs to try. So I really got such a nice feel for the range. They sent me one lipstick. I'm not going to use it today because I'm not going for a red lip with this crazy look, but the formula is absolutely amazing. It is slightly glossier, but I don't mind that. They stay on the lips so beautifully despite that. They don't wear off patchy. They don't go on patchy. They do have just a very super subtle scent. So this I am definitely picking up more shades in. And if I need a nice red, that is so amazing. This is a really neutral wearable red. And then they also sent me their lip liner. This is in the shade Charm. I love this. It's retractable. I'm going to show you guys how that works. I'm going to use that today. I just want to quickly show you how these swatch. Everything swatches so nicely. And then they sent me two glosses, one in Levitate and one in Fortune. I'm going to swatch this for you as well. Fortune is just a shimmering pink. Actually, very much reminds me of a more wearable version of Red Apple Lipstick's Twinkle Toes. I am into the color. I am into a little sheen and shimmer on the lips. And then we have Levitate, which is a really weird shade, but for this 90s Supermodel look, I actually freaking love it. If you guys could see it right there. Really, really unique shade. Both of them are, but I really like all the formulas. The thing that smells the most to me is the glosses smell very, very, very strong. So if that's not something you're into, and yeah, the glosses definitely smelled the most to me. That's what made me email them saying, hey, what's up with this scent? So I'm gonna quickly go in with the lip liner in Charm. It is retractable. Retractable isn't my favorite, but it does the job. You can get such a thin, precise line. If you guys can see the tip of that, it looks like a brow pencil almost. It's so thin. So I'm just gonna quickly draw. All right, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. 90s looks are definitely about having a darker color around the lips and then putting something lighter on the inside. So since I'm not using the red today, I'm just going to use my own lip product. This is the Antonym Naturel lip pencil. And for most people, you just leave it right there, but I am going to take that amazing gloss and Levitate. This isn't a very 90s thing to do because the 90s is all about a matte mouth. But just to get some dimension in the center, I'm going to take Levitate, and I'll also give a brown tinge to it. Right in the center. They're comfortable, they're non-sticky. I have really good luck with natural lip glosses. I just think this is the coolest shade. I think this would be amazing if you have a deep skin tone. It would be like a really nice nude glossy mouth. But be mindful, like I said, those are quite fragrant. Alright you guys, so that is it. This is my finished 90s Supermodel / one brand tutorial look with Afterglow Cosmetics. Big thank you to them for sending all of this over to me. I tried most of their best sellers. They have a page that has their best sellers. So I really wanted to do that so I could give you guys a really nice feel for the line. And I really think I did. I don't think there's really anything that I missed, but like every line, I had a lot of hits. I had a couple misses. Some misses for me. Mascara. I like it for the bottom lash line. Would I just go out of my way to buy it for that? No, because I can make most mascaras work on the bottom lash line. I'm not huge into the foundation either. It has a really silicone-y texture, and I don't like that it has that, that glitter in it. But I noticed that in quite a few natural foundations, so I don't know what that's all about. As for hits, eyeshadows and blushes, of course, anything pressed, I am just crazy about. The pigmentation's amazing, very, very wearable and extensive shade range. And I do also, the more I look at my under eyes, I am loving that under eye concealer, and I do adore the lipsticks. I would just like one in a shade that I'm going to get more use out of. So I really hope you guys found that helpful. I hope that I let you know about a new brand because I haven't heard much about them either. One of you in the comments let me know about them, so that made me very, very curious. And I love playing with new makeup and showing you guys new brands that we can love and explore. But quickly, they all of their products come with this little pamphlet to let you know a little bit about it. These are all their cosmetics are free of parabens, gluten, petrochemicals, GMOs, soy, PEGs, synthetic dyes, fragrance, carmine, mineral oil, and they are cruelty free. So these This line is killer. It was such an amazing find. Let me know if there's anything on the website that's screaming out to you that you would like me to try for you. I do have a 15% off coupon code for you guys that they have extended for you, and I will link that down below. And I think I'm gonna take advantage of it as well. So please take a look at the website and let me know what you wanna try, and I will pick that up. The next one brand tutorial I think is gonna be Piranata. I placed a little order because I was getting an overwhelming amount of comments to try them. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you recreate this look and tag me on Instagram and follow me there at Green Bunny Video and subscribe so you never miss one. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.